Text. तम् अधर्मकृतमतिं विलोक्य पितरं सुतः मारीचिमुख्या मुनयो विश्रम्भात् प्रत्याबोधयन्.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. Immortality. The sages headed by Machari, all sons of Brahma spoke as follows with great respect.
Text 30. नैतत्पूर्वः कृतं त्वद्ये न करिष्यन्ति चापरे यस्त्वं दुहितरं गच्छेर् अनिगृह्यान् गजं प्रभुः.
O Father, this performance in which you are endeavoring to complicate yourself was never attempted by any other Brahma, nor anyone else, nor by you in previous kalpas, nor will occur in the universe. So how is it that you want to have sex with your daughter and cannot control your desire?
Text 31. तेजीयसाम् अपि ह्येतान् न शुश्लोक्यं जगद्गुरो यद्वृताम् अनुष्ठिष्ठन् वै लोकक्षेमया कल्पते.
Even though you are the most powerful being, this act does not suit you because your character is followed by spiritual improvement by people in general.
32. तस्मै नमो भगवते य इदं स्वेन रोचिषा आत्मस्थं व्यञ्जयाम् आस सधर्मां पातुम् अर्हति.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto this personality of Godhead, who by his own engulfance, while situated in himself, has manifested this cosmos. May he also protect religion for all goodness.
Text 33. स इत्थं गृणता पुत्रान् पुरो दृष्ट्वा प्रजापतिन् प्रजापतिपतिस्तन्वां तत्याज वृतिता तदा तां दिशो जागृर्घोरां निहारं यद्विधुस्तमः.
The father of all Prajapatis, Brahma, thus seeing all the Prajapatis' sons speaking in this way, became very much ashamed and at once gave up the body he accepted. Later, the body appeared in all directions as the dangerous fog in darkness.
Text 34. कदाचिद्ध्यायताश्रस्तुर्वेदा आशंश्चतुर्मुखात् कथं स्रक्ष्याम्यहं लोकान् समवेतान् यथा पुरा.
Once upon a time, when Brahma was thinking of how to create the worlds, as in the past millennium, the four Vedas, which contained all varieties of knowledge, became manifested from his four mouths.
Text 35. चातुर्होत्रं कर्म तन्त्राम् उपवेदनयै सह धर्मस्य पादाश्चत्वारस् तथैवाश्रमवृत्. Shaktayah.
The 4 kinds of paraphilia is conducted for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest. The performer, the chanter, the offerer, the fire, and the action performed in terms of the supplementary Vedas. Also, the 4 principles of religiosity, truth, which are truth, austerity, mercy, and cleansingness, and the duties in the 4 social orders all became manifest.
Text 36. Vidura Uvacha Savai Vishwasrajamisho Vedadin Mukhato Shrajat Yadyadyena Shrajat Devas Tanme Bruhi Tapodhana.
Vidur said, O great sage, whose only wealth is penance, kindly explain to me how and with whose help Brahma established the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth.
Text 37. Maitreya Uvacha ऋग्यजुः सामाथर्वाख्यान् वेदान् पूर्वादिभिर्मुखे शास्त्रम् इज्यां स्तुतिस्तो मां प्रायश्चितं व्यधात् क्रमात्.
Maitri said, beginning from the front face of Brahma, gradually the four Vedas, I think it's RK is RK,
Rig.
Rig, Yuga,
Yajur.
Sama, and Atharva became manifest. Thereafter, Vedic hymns which had not been pronounced before, priestly rituals, the subject matters of the recitation, and transcendental activities were all established one after the other.
Text 38. Ayurvedam dhanurvedam gandharvam vedamatmanah
Military arts, musical arts, and architectural science, all from the Vedas, one after the other, one after another, beginning from the front face.
Text 39. इतिहासपुराणानि पञ्चमं वेदमीश्वर सर्वेभ्य एव वक्त्रेभ्यः ससृजे सर्वदर्शनः.
Then he created the 5th Veda, the Puranas, and the histories from all his mouth, since he could see all the past, present, and future.
Text 40. Sodashya yukto purvavaktra purishyagnestu tavatha apto yamati cha vajapeyam sagosavam.
All the different varieties of fire sacrifices, Sodaisi, Ukata, Purisi, Agni Stoma, Aporayama, Atirtari, and Vajapaya and Gosvaya became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma.
Text 41. विद्यादानं तपः सत्यं धर्मस्येति पदानि च आश्रमांश्च यथा संख्यम् आश्रजत्सह वृत्तिभिः.
Education, charity, penance, and truth are said to be the four legs of religion. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classifications of caste according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order.
Next 42. सावित्रं प्राजापत्यं च ब्राह्मं चाथ बृहत् तथा वार्तासञ्चयशालिना शिलोञ्चा इति वै गृहे. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and sorry for any mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Then the thread ceremony for the twice born was inaugurated, as were the rules to be followed for at least 1 year after acceptance of the Vedas. Rules for observing complete abstinence from sex life, vocation in terms of Vedic injunction, various professional duties in household life, and method of maintaining a livelihood without anyone's cooperation by picking up rejected grains. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you. If there's any mistakes by me, please forgive me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sumudra Mataji and Priya Mataji. Very beautiful recitations of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we shall move into our Bhagavatam. Okay, so before we enter into our Bhagavatam Katha, we shall offer our Mangalacharan prayers to our Gurus, Vaishnavas, and Shri Radha Krishna. Okay. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशाम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृणुतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वय्ह भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृसतां नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम् इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः कृष्णे सुदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रूषामेषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये अति विश्वेषु विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्तिस्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशमिमं चिन्तिदुषं पाण्डुषु विष्णुषु त्वयि मेनन्यविषया मतिरुमतिपते सकृत् गतिमुद्वाहत दद्ध गङ्गवघूदन्वतीं हे श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सखा विष्णु वृषभाव निध्रग्राजन्यवंशदहनानपवर्धवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुरात हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गसङ्गस्य मच्चेनां किमुत शिशः पुनश भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गश तदाश्रयेषु महस्तुयां यमुप्यां सृष्टिं मैत्रसु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः ॐ नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेणानमतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादाश्रीवीरितः सङ्गृह्णाति आकरव्रातात् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीम् ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly waiting. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity to speak few words on Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so after a while, so again seeing all the devotees, it's so nice to hear, see and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I shall share my screen. Okay, so here this chapter is the creation of Kumaras and everyone else by Lord Brahma. So it is a very beautiful chapter. So how the creation is taking place with all kinds of different people like the great rishis and the Kumaras and Lord Shiva, and then how later on how Brahma was creating further different sections of Vedas. So in the beginning, in order to create this, in the beginning, everything else, Brahma initially he created Sasajagri Andata Mishra Atata Mishra. So these are about making the living entities themselves, identifying themselves. They identify themselves with the false ego. So that is the purpose. So that he created in the beginning of that. So he mentioned that. Maitri Rishi said, Sasajagri Anta Mishra Atita Mishram Adikrit Mahamoham cha Moham cha Tamasha Adhyana Vrittayaha. So these are all Andata Mishra Ata Ta Mishra Adikrit. And then Mahamoham cha Moham cha Tamasha Adhyana Vrittayaha. So all this he has created, that illusory thing, and one he considers himself as the body, and then fear of the death, and likewise there are so many other things he has created. So after that he was a bit dissatisfied by creating all these things, and then he has gone through purificatory process. Later on he created the four Kumaras, and then he asked them to increase the progeny, but they did not accept. They wanted to engage themselves in the spiritual path. So later on, when he was angry, Lord Shiva has appeared from his eyebrows, and then when he was crying aloud, he was given the name like the Rudra when he asked. And then Brahm has given 11 names of Rudras, and then his places where to stay, and also his wife's names as well. So later on, when he asked him to go and expand the progeny, so Lord Shiva's progeny was like a both of Pisacha, Pretas, all these things. They're all getting increased and they're disturbing the universal creation. Later on, Brahma advised Lord Shiva, you just go and meditate, engage yourself in the austerities and penances. By your meditation, you would increase the good progeny. Likewise, he said, and then later on, Brahma started creating the for the rishis and all those things. Atri Rishi, Pulasya, Pulaha, like all of them. And then later on in that creation, he has created in the last session, we have been in that sequence, um, he was explaining about the, later on he has created his daughter as well. So, and then he was daughter in the sense, in the shloka it was explained that um, he was running behind his daughter for the sex pleasure. But even though she is not interested in that one, later on, Brahma, he has left that body after his sons have been speaking to him that, oh, father, this is not the thing that you have done before, and it is not according to the Vedic injunctions. So later on, Brahma, he left his body and then accepted a new body and then he started creating further. So within that sequence, uh, so in the verse 35, he was mentioning that Chaturhotram Karma Tantram Upavedanaihi Saha Dharmasya Padas Chattvaraha Tataiva Ashrama Vrittayah. So this is the Chaturhotram Karma Tantram. In order to execute this Chaturhotras, it is explaining the 35 shloka. So just bringing this few in order for the continuation. The four kinds of the paraphernalia for conducting the fire sacrifice became manifest: the performer, the chanter, the offerer, the fire, and the action performed in terms of the supplementary Vedas. Also, the four principles of religiosity: truth, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness, and the duties in the four social orders all became manifest. So this is the Brahma's creation. And then further, when he was explaining, Maitreya was explaining, Vidura was inquiring about that. Oh, great sage, whose only wealth is the penance? Kindly explain to me how and with whose help Brahma established the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth. So when he has inquired later on, Maitreya Rishi is started speaking that in answer to Vidura. Beginning from the front face of Brahma, gradually the four Vedas, Rug, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva became manifest. Thereafter, Vedic hymns, which had not been pronounced before, priestly rituals, the subject matters of the recitation, and transcendental activities were all established one after another. So, in such a way, Brahma is creating, and here Maitreya Rishi is explaining to Vidura. And further, Maitreya Rishi says that today, what are the different angas are being created by Brahma. So we are going to start from verse 38. So that is allocated from 38 to 41 shlokas. Okay, we shall recite the shloka and then see the translation and purport. आयुर्वेदं धनुर्वेदं गान्धर्वं वेदमात्मनः स्थापत्यं च असुजद्वेदं क्रमात् पूर्वादिभिः मकैः. Ayurvedam Dhanurvedam. Ayurvedam is the medical science. So Ayuhu means it is to increase the lifespan. In order for the life, Ayuhu is the lifespan. Vedam, and in order to maintain that life, whatever the knowledge is required, that is called Ayurvedam. And that is called in English is the medical science. Ayurvedam and Dhanurvedam. Dhanurvedam is the military science. Dhanuhu is the bow and arrows, bow, and Vedam, how to use those, how to release the arrows, how to hold them. So just with the 2 fingers and 3 fingers, 4 fingers, with all the hands, with releasing 1 arrow, 2 arrows, and 5 arrows at the same time. These are all coming under the Dhanur Vedam. And then this is military science. And Gandharvam Vedam. Gandharvam is the musical art, how to sing beautifully and how to dance all those stuff coming under Gandharvam, musical art. So there are some music colleges as well. For example, in the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, they maintain one college where they give training for how to sing and how to use mridangas, tablas, and um, so different instruments. There are innumerable instruments, more than around 30, 40 departments. They're all coming under a musical college. So it is very beautiful. We see many people who are all even blind, they sing very beautifully by getting trained there in the music college. Okay, so this is the Gandharvam is the musical art, Vedam, and they're all Vedic knowledge. Gandharvam, Vedam, Atmanaha, of his own. And Stapatyam, it is the architectural. Stapatyam architectural. Also, cha Asujat Vedham, and he has created that knowledge, architectural knowledge. And Kramat Purvadibihi, Purva Adibihi, and they are created respectively, beginning from the front face. Kramadibihi, Mukaihi. Mukaihi is the by the mouths. So likewise, Maitreya Rishi is saying to Vidura. So Ayurvedam, Dhanurvedam, Gandharvam Vedam, Atmanaha, Stapatyam cha Asujat Vedam, Kramat Purva Adibihi, Mukaihi. They're all been created from the faces of Brahma, starting from the front face and then just like it may be circle way. Okay, so translation for this verse. He also created the medical science, military art, musical art, and architectural science, all from the Vedas. They all emanated one after another, beginning from the front face. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Vedas contain perfect knowledge, which includes all kinds of knowledge necessary for the human society, not only on this particular planet, but on other planets as well. It is understood that military art is also necessary knowledge for the upkeep of social order, as is the art of music. All these groups of knowledge are called the Upapurana or supplements of the Vedas. Spiritual knowledge is the main topics of the Vedas. But to help the human beings, spiritual pursuit of knowledge, the other information as above mentioned forms necessary branches of the Vedic knowledge. So here, in the whenever Brahma was created by the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, so during that time, the Lord says that Jnanam Paramaguhyame Yad Vijnan Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Tad Angam Cha Gruhana Gaditam Maya. So this is Angam Cha. Angam Cha is the different sections of the knowledge. So Jnanam Paramaguhyame Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Tad Angam Cha. Angam is the all called supplementary knowledges. So like here we have got how to utilize Ayurvedam, Dhanurvedam, Gandharvam, everything in they are in support to the spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is the main topic of the Vedas. So other information as Mom mentioned forms necessary branches of the Vedic knowledge. If I wanted to glorify the Lord, I need to learn, I need to have some kind of entrance to the music kind of thing. It will come more beautifully with using all the instruments and many departments in our in the society. There are different sections of people. Each section contains some specializations. Some persons may do blow this flute very nicely. Some do the mridanga very nicely. Likewise, in order to bring everyone together, all this knowledge, this musical knowledge, Gandharva Vidya, it is there. If we could see in kind of villages or any kind of festivals, that different sections of people come with different talents. They all are trying to glorify the Lord, participate in the festivals. So this is knowledge existing in the Vedas, branches of the Vedic knowledge. So this is a very beautiful thing. There is not much philosophy to go in deep here, but this is Ayurvedam, Dhanurvedam, Gandharvam Vedam, Atmanaha, स्थापय स्थापत्यं च असुजद्वेदं क्रमात् पूर्वैः आदिभिः मुखैः पूर्वादिभिः मुखैः from his face everything was created one after another. So here one of the statements like Swayambhu Manu mentions about the Brahma when he was explaining Brahma, he expanded himself. Brahma asujat pumukato yushmanatma parichaya chindomaya tapo vidya yoga yuktan alampatan. He has created everything he to expand himself. Brahma asujat pumukato yushman atma parichaya. So here atmanaha. So in order to expand the Brahma, sometimes Vedas are also called Tene Brahma. Brahma is also Vedic knowledge. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adi Kavaye. All this knowledge is revealed in the heart of Brahma. So likewise, Brahma is creating here different sections of the knowledge. And then further we shall move on to the next shloka. What further Maitreya is saying. So this is the Vedic knowledge. After that, Itihasa Puranani Panchamam Vedam Ishvaraha Sarvebhya ev Vaktrebhya Sasruje Sarva Darshanaham. And Itihasa Puranani. Itihasa is the past historical events. These are all factual incidents that have happened in the past. Itihasa. Puranani means these are all Purana means very old histories. Itihasa, it is mentioned that history. Purana means very old, maybe previous Manvantara, previous Kalpas, and previous Brahmas as well. Likewise, so many other, these are all coming under Puranani. Itihasa is the previous, all the set of sequence of activities like Mahabharata and Ramayana. They are called Itihasa. They have been sequentially described in this Ramayana and Mahabharata. Itihasas, histories. But in the Puranas, whenever it is Puranas, only the essential knowledge is extracted and preserved in the Puranas. It may not be possible to write everything for all the Kalpas and Manvantras. It will become very huge book. Even Brahma cannot accommodate that one. So, but here, Vyasadeva, when he has done, he has captured only essential parts of the Puranas. Their time should not be considered there, but only the knowledge is required. Itihasa Puranani. And the Panchamam Vedam Ishvaraha. It is called the fifth Vedic knowledge or Vedic literature. And Ishvaraha, the Lord. And then Sarvebhya eva Bhaktrebhya. Sarvebhya, all together, certainly Bhaktrebhya. Everything is created from his mouth. From his mouth. And Sasruje Sarva Darshanaha. Sasruje is created and the Sarva all around Darshanaha, one who can see all time, who can see present, past, and future. Likewise, he is here. Brahma is also kind of Ishvaraha. He is also like mentioned the Lord. He has created this Vedic knowledge. Sometimes Ishvara is called controller. Itihasa Puranani Panchamam Vedam Ishvaraha Sarvebhya eva Vaktrebhya Sasuje Sarva Darshanaham. Translation for this shloka. Then he created the fifth Veda, the Puranas and the histories from all his mouths, since he could see all the past, present, and future. So there are histories of particular countries and nations and of the world, but the Puranas are the histories of the universe, not only in the millennium, but in many kalpas. Brahma has knowledge of those historical facts, and therefore all the Puranas are histories. As originally composed by Brahma, they are part of the Vedas and are called the fifth Veda. So this one, all the Puranas, when Vyasadeva has composed in this millennium, 5,000 years ago, so he has given this in this, it was said in the first canto, chapter 4. He has explained, Sutta Goswami explained that Chaturhotram Karma Siddham Prajanam Viksha Vaidikam Vedat Yajna Santatyai Vedam Ekam Chaturvidam. So Vedam Ekam Chaturvidam. He has split one Veda into four in order to expand them among men. This is in the beginning, it was Sutta Goswami explained that one. And also, he has given these four Vedas to four rishis. Rug, Yajuhu, Sama, Adarva, Akya, Veda, Chatvara, Udahrita, uh, Udritaha. Itihasa Puranam cha Panchamo Veda Uchyate. Again, it is mentioned here in the beginning. And then he has given to Rigveda to Paila Rishi, Samaveda to Jaimini Rishi, Jaimini Kavi, and then Yajurvedam to Vaisampayana. Vaisampayana Evaipo, Nishna to Yajusham Muta. And then further, Adarva is given to Angirasa. And he is also called Sumantuhu or Daruno Munihi. Itihasa Puranam cha Pitami Romaharshinaha. Romaharshina is the father of Sutta Goswami. So he has taken this Itihasa Puranas. And later on, whenever Lord Balaram has killed Romaharshina, when he was not humble enough towards the Lord, he has killed him with just the blade of grass. And then later on, by the request of all the sages there in the assembly, wherever this Romaharshina was speaking to Bhagavatam Katha to all the sages. So later on the request of the sages, Balarama, he wanted to revive Romaharshina, but however, as the Lord wanted to kill him, so they asked him, okay, let it be as it is, and you just make his son Sutta Goswami as a long life. Whatever the benedictions that sages have given to Romaharshina, that were given to Sutta Goswami. So he had got a longer life. All benedictions of his father came to Sutta Goswami. So this is the Sutta Goswami knows all these Itihasa Puranas. So likewise, here Brahm is called the Panchama Veda. Okay, so and then here, so as originally composed by Brahma, they are part of the Vedas and are called the fifth Vedas, these Itihasa Puranas. Okay, so there is not much philosophy here. Again, we shall move to the next shloka. So further. And here in this particular shloka, there are different kinds of sacrifices that were created by Brahma. So they are Shodasi Vuktau Purva Vaktrat Purishi Agnistitau Ata Aptvaryama Atiratraucha Vajipayam Saghosavam. These are the different names of the sacrifices. Shodasi Vuktau. Shodasi Vuktau. This is a type of sacrifice. We might not have heard these sacrifice names. And Purvavaktrat from the eastern mouth. Purvavaktrat and Purishi Agnistutau. Purishi Agnistutau, types of sacrifice. This is also Purishi is the different sacrifice. Purishi and then Ata later on Aptvaryama Atiratrau. Again, this is a Agnistoma. This is also Aptvaryama Atiratrav. Aptvaryama Atiratra. These are the different sacrifice names, types of sacrifice. Cha and Vajipayam. This is also one of the type of sacrifice. Vajipayam. Sagosavam. This is also one of the sacrifice. There is no purport in order to explain these sacrifice names. Because in the age of Kali, only Harinama Sankirtana, Yajni, this is mentioned, Yajnehi Sankirtana Prayehi, Yantihi Sumedasaha, Krishna Vadnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasara Pasharam, Yajnehi Sankirtana Prayehi, Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Only the Harinama Sankirtana is the prescribed yajna in this age of Kali. But here, for the sake of names, we just understand this one. This is a translation for this. Is all the different varieties of 5 sacrifices. Sodasi, Vukta, Purishi, Agnistoma, Vajipayam, Sagosavam. These are the different sacrifice names, types of sacrifice. Vajipayam, Sagosavam. This is also one of the sacrifice. Purishi and then Ata later on Aptvaryama Atiratrav. Again, this is a translation for this. Sodasi, Vukta, and Agnistoma, Aptoryama, Atiratra, Vajapeya, and Gosava became manifested from the eastern mouth of Brahma. Eastern mouth of Brahma. And these are many sacrifices. They are not prescribed for the age of Kali. So here, Ashwamedam Dhawalambam, Sanyasam, Palapaitrukam, Devarena Sudapattim, Kalu Panchi Vivarjaye. There are four activities are completely stopped in this age of Kali. Ashwamedam, it is the sacrifice of the Ashwamedha. Gavalambam, a sacrifice of the cow. And Sanyasam, taking the sannyasa. So it is mentioned in the Brahmavaivarta Purana. This Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was mentioning this one. Sannyasam Palapaitrukam, offering the meat preparations to the forefathers. That is the fourth activity. These are all stopped in this Kalu Panchi Vivarjayet. And fifth activity is the Devarena Sudotpattim, and begetting the child in the womb of brother's wife. In the brother's wife, that is also stopped. Some part of India, some people they used to follow in the past, but we used to hear those things, but it has been stopped in this age of Kali. So these are the Ashwamedam, Ghavalambam, Sanyasam, Palapaitrukam, Devarena Sudotpattim, Kalu Pancha Vivarjayet. So these five are stopped in this age of Kali, and we have to speak of all these different five sacrifices, because we need to have a proper brahmanas to utter the mantras. Sometimes we see there are one have checked seen in the YouTube or in the forwarded messages that one brahmana was chanting the mantras, and the fire was immediately it was blazed in front of everyone. So general people previously used to, normally Brahmanas used to, they do have got the arani, which is made up of the woods. They one wood outside and another wood is inside. Whenever he is rotating the inside wood, it in a fast way, then the fire will be generated from those. It is called arani. So this is they do not use the external fires. They use arani for the sacrifices to blaze. And sometimes even Kapil Bhagavan also given that example when he was giving knowledge to Devhuti Mata about the Arani as well. So as we have got this material body, and inside that there is a subtle body, and inside that there is a spirit soul. So like the whenever Arani is keep on rotating very fast, then the fire comes from out of it. It will also burn the Arani as well. And finally, it will become nothing. It will become ashes. Likewise, even though the soul is covered by the subtle body and the material body, when we engage ourselves in the uh, devotional service, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, then what happens? This material body and subtle body will be completely burnt to the ashes. We will be completely coming out of the body as a pure spirit soul in the spiritual body that will be remained. That it was also explained by Kapil Bhagwan, just bringing that one whenever coming to fire sacrifice in Arani, it went there. Okay, so that is about the fire sacrifices. And we shall move on to the next shloka as well. So what is explained here? 41 shloka here he is mentioning the knowledge. What are the four legs of the dharma? Those are also being created. So likewise he is saying Vidyadanam tapah satyam dharmasyeti padani cha dharmasya iti padani cha ashramamsha yata sankyam ashramamsha yata sankyam asrjat saha vruttibihi asrjat saha vruttibihi. Vidya danam tapaha satyam. Vidya is the education, danam charity, tapaha penance, satyam truth. Satyam truth. This is dharmasya of religion. Iti, thus, padani, 4 legs. These are the 4 legs. What are they? Vidya, Danam, Tapah, Satyam. These are the 4 legs of dharma. Ashramamsha, Yata, Sankyam. Ashramamsha. And ashramas are the orders of life. Yata, Sankyam in number. In the similar way. And Asujat he has created. Saha Vrittibihi along with it by vocations. Vrittibihi is the occupations or vocations, by vocations. So Vidyadanam Tapaha Satyam Dharmasyeti Padanicha Ashramamsha Yata Sankyam. Yata Sankyam Asujat Saha Vrittibihi. The translation for this verse. Uh, Education, charity, penance, and truth are said to be the 4 legs of religion. And to learn this, there are 4 orders of life with different classifications of castes according to vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. So this one we also see in the Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvanyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha. Krishna says to Arjuna. Chaturvanyam maya srishtam. This is the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. Okay, so we shall see what is the Prabhupada explaining here. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the nucleus of the 4 social orders, Brahmacharya or student life, Grahastha or householder family life, Vanaprastha or retired life for practicing penance, and Sannyasa or renounced life for preaching the truth, is the 4 legs of religion. The vocational divisions are the Brahmanas or the intelligent class, the Kshatriyas or administrative class, the Vaishyas or mercantile productive class, and the Sudras or general labor class who have no specific qualifications. All were systematically planned and created by Brahma for the regular promotion of self-realization. So, and student life is meant for acquiring the best education. Household family life is meant for gratifying the senses, provided it is performed with a charitable disposition of mind. Retirement from household life is meant for penance, for advancement in spiritual life. And the renounced life is meant for preaching the absolute truth to the people in general. The combined actions of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for the upliftment of the mission of human life. The beginning of this social institution is based on education meant for purifying the animal propensities of the human being. The highest purificatory process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, this is the 4-1. Atah pumbid vijisreshta varna ashrama vibhavushaha. Swanistasya dharmasya samsid. This is Swanistasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. This is only created for the pleasure of the haritoshanam. So these are created by the Lord He Himself. And then here Brahma is acting as a medium in order to manifest into this material world. So the nucleus of the 4 social orders are the Brahmacharya is where student life, he goes to first 25 years of his life, he learns all the spiritual knowledge and also knowledge how to maintain the body, how to keep it up like that. This is Brahmacharya. So during this stage of life, he is not allowed to meet any woman like that. No sense gratification, austerities and penances. That is Brahmacharya. And then next stage is the householder. Whenever after 25 years of his education, the student, he goes to the spiritual master, and according to his position, even though after studying the Vedic knowledge and everything else, the spiritual knowledge, if he still wanted to have gratify his senses, then after taking the permission from Guru, then he will enter into the householder life by accepting a wife. That is the otherwise, if he is able to maintain his body without any wife, then he can continue and enter into the sannyasa order. Otherwise, if he has got desires to for the sense gratification, then he needs to take the permission of the spiritual master, enter into the household life, family life. And then once he enters into the family life, so that means 25 years of family life. After that, vanaprastha, or the retired life for practicing penance. Now he has entered into the mud, the dirty mud. So now he has to come out of that one. So he needs to cleanse. That means around 50 years of his life is going here. 50 years of life, only enter into the mud and washing the mud. See, that is how one wastes his life. But however, it is according to the desires of the soul. That is not uh, everyone. As soon as we have got material body, that means everyone has got some desires. They until they finish it, that one he would not have got material body. If he is not having any more desires, then he would not have existed in this material world. Okay, so but some devotees like the Nitya Muktas or Nitya Siddhas, the Parshvadas of the Lord, they appear here in this world to give the spiritual knowledge to the conditioned souls, to relieve them from the material world. Okay, so now here, uh, householder life, after that vanaprastha, or the retired life for practicing penance. And then fourth order is the sannyasa, or renounced life for preaching the truth. So in this age, sannyasa means knowing that yes, previously I was good. Later on, I entered into the mud. I washed my mud. Now, you do not enter into this mud again. So it is the bhavabandhas. So this is bhavabandhas. Once he enters, we do not know whether he will be able to come out or not. So that he is going to preach the truth is the four legs of religion. This is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is the dharmadhas. And also, when Vyasadeva was explaining, Narada Muni was explaining to Vyasadeva after he has composed Mahabharata, saying that, oh Vyasa, you have given Mahabharata very, very good. It contains Sarvartha Paribrahmitam. It contains everything. There is nothing which is not in the Mahabharata. You have given that one. But people out of this Dharma, Dha, Kama, Moksha, they will consider only Adha and Kama. They will neglect the Dharma and Moksha. So, because of their Swabhava, दुगुप्यते धर्मकृतेनुशासनस्य स्वभावर्थस्य महान् व्यतिक्रमः यद्भाक्यते धर्म इति तरस्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जनः न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जनः. There are some restrictions, but they do not follow. They think that they will only take Adha and Kama. They think that it is in the scriptures. So likewise, here you just now compose Mahabhagavatam, but a devotee who tried to search the absolute truth, he wanted to know about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For that one, you compose Mahabhagavat, Srimad Bhagavatam. Likewise, he gives for there are so much of beautiful knowledge. His conversations also takes place. So that's why that is the Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Here it coming to here the four orders of life. This is the family life for sense gratification. Vanaprastha is the retirement. Okay, this is the ashramas. And the next coming to the varnas. Varnas are the vocational divisions are brahmanas, intelligent class, and the kshatriyas are administrative class, vaishyas are mercantile productive class. So these were also described by the Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter when he was explaining all about what the qualities of Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas and Sudras. And Sudras does not have any qualifications, so they will be the serving the above three order class of people. Okay, so and all were systematically planned and created by Brahma for the regular promotion of self-realization. This is the regular promotion of, this is called Vidhi Bhakti. So when we have got a human body, we need to follow the rules and regulations, Vidhi Bhakti. gradually we will be promoted to the self-realization when we are executing those stuff. And then, so whenever he enters into the bhakti, varnashrama dharma is required, mandatory. Otherwise, he would not be able to get into the bhakti. That is the base required. Okay, and then student life is meant for acquiring the best education. Household family life is meant for gratifying the senses, provided it is performed with a charitable disposition of mind. Yes, so here Rupa Goswami says, a person who is in the household, whatever he earns, then he has to split his all income into four parts. Half of the parts to for the Lord, for preaching and everything. So that is called charitable disposition of mind. And then 25% for himself, 25% for his family and relatives. So that's why here Prabhupada is mentioning a household person should be with charitable disposition of mind. That is the family household life. And then retirement from the household life is meant for the penance. So this is starting after 50 years of age. And he needs to be gradually freeing himself from the household responsibilities, like looking after the children, or once the children get married, then you do not have any duty. So you engage yourself in the penances or the devotional life, or for advancement in the spiritual life. And then renounced order of life is meant for preaching the absolute truth to the people in general. So this renounced order or the sannyasi order, there are again four different stages in this one. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajaka, Paramahamsa. There are the four stages in the sannyasi. So it is also, sannyasi is also immediately what cannot become a Paramahamsa, the topmost. So first in Kutichaka is the initially he will be living nearer to the home, but not in the home, nearer to the home, accepting some kind of food and clothes from the family, and he maintains for some time. Once he is able to manage that relationship, able to stay far away from the family and attachment on the all the stuff. Later on, Bahudaka. Bahudaka is he will stop accepting the food and the clothes from the home, and then he will go and beg from the home to home. That is the Bahudaka. And then at the same time, further stages is the Parirajika. So he does not want to take for free from the households, and then he wanted to preach about the spiritual knowledge. That is the Parirajik. He wanders throughout the world, and he giving the spiritual knowledge to everyone. That is the Parirajika. And once he finishes preaching, then he comes back to the Kshetra or Dhama, like the Vrindavana or Jagannath Puri or Dwaraka or Haridwar. Likewise, these Kshetras, and then he will stay there until leaving his body. That is the Paramhamsa stage. And during that time, he will be merged himself into the pastimes of the Lord. Okay, that is the Paramahamsa stage, the different orders of the sannyasi. And then later, these combined actions of all members of society make the whole situation favorable for the upliftment of the mission of human life. So everything, all are rooting to samsiddhir haritoshanam, only for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, so but here we would see in different sections within the people. And then the beginning of the social institution is based on education meant for purifying the animal propensities of the human being. Animal prop, yasyatma buddhi konape tridhatuke. So then generally people who thinks that kalatradishu bhaum ijjadihi. So he thinks that it is my home, my family, my body, and my land. Likewise, it is all on the Yasyatma Buddhi Konapetri Dhatuke. He identifies himself, his body, himself with he identifies his body as himself. That is the clearing uh, that propensity. So this is called by educating himself. That comes This highest purificated process is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure. This one is described by Krishna here in the 13th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. What is that knowledge? So he mentions um, the 8 to 12 verses. He mentions that Amanitvam Adhambitvam Ahimsa Kshantir Arjavam Acharyopasanam Saucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha Indriyadeshu Vairagyam Ahankara Evacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam Asakti Asaktibihi Anabhiswangaha Putradhara Gruhadishu Nityam cha Samachittatvam Ishtanistopapatishu Maichananya Yogena Bhaktir Avibicharini Vivikta Desa Savitvam Aridhyana Samsadi अध्यात्मज्ञान नित्यत्वं तत्वज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम एतत् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम अज्ञानम यदतो अन्यथा this is called knowledge एतत् ज्ञानम इति प्रोक्तम all this is called the knowledge everything else is called the ajnanam ajnanam yadato anyata what is jnanam and here all given here amani starting from the amanitvam the first four slokas and then the fourth sloka, it is Mai Chananya Yogena Bhaktir Avivicharini. Again, devotional service is included within that knowledge. And then Vivikta Desh Sevitvam, staying in the alone, in the lonely places. Aritit Jana Samsari, free, far away from the Jana Samsari, from the Sangha, materialistic people. So staying with the devotees, it is also called the Vivikta Desha Sevitvam, staying in the Dhammas with the devotees and engaging himself in the devotional service. And then during that one, he would be understanding all these things. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam, understanding about the human life and Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam. These are all knowledge. He would practice everything and then he will engage in the devotional service. This is all called Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam Tattva Jnana Darshanam. Jnana the darshanam. So this one, this knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the purest of the pure. Of course, this is Bhagavad Gita. Further in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described how to meditate on the Lord and His pastimes more detailed, scrutinizingly. Later on in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami describes different moods and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami gives different ecstatic feelings while he was engaged in the devotional service to the Lord, Bhava, those stages. There are many of the deep knowledge further, but here, until knowing the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is the purest of the pure. Okay, so likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. So this is the shloka Vidyadanam Tapah Satyam Dharmasya iti padani cha Ashramamsha Yatha Sankyam Asujat Saha Vrittibihi. This is the shloka. These are the four legs of the Dharma religion. So Brahma has created all these things. Okay, I stop here and I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything on this shlokas, kindly ask questions or share whatever you have got. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Hare Krishna. With reference to Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, absolute truth, and one can't deviate from it. But the social conditions in the current age, do they not blur the vocational divisions? So Chaturvarnam, Mahashishtam, they currently blur the system. So is it workable in this age?
Yes, it is workable in this age, but because this is a democracy and people, they are not educated properly. So because when Krishna consciousness is spread, people are educated and this four sections of the people, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras, they will be formed. And likewise, when people are educated, they will elect the right people. At the moment, problem is with the people. because of the democracy, they could not elect the right persons.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. That answers my question. Thank you.
Mataji? So, any other questions, or you wanted to share anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Kindness of my humble obeisances of Guru Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for nice explanation of these 4 verses. But I have a feeling, like a question, as you mentioned that Grihastha life is just like getting into the mud, right?
Yes.
So, and also from childhood to 25 years, one should stay in the brahmacharya ashram, and then 25 to 50 in the grihastha ashram, and then with vanaprastha and then sannyasa. But Prabhuji, my question may be silly. How many people? How sure are we that we are going to achieve certain age? Like young people are dying nowadays,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So there is no guarantee that we will survive up to 50, up to 60, 70.
Yes.
So in this case, isn't it like better to go directly in the brahmachari life?
Yes. Yes, Mother, that is absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, that was just a realization that I got. I just wanted to share. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
That's why this Narada Muni says, Tasyaiva hetoho praeteta vido na labhyate yad bhramatam uparyadaha talabhyate dhukvad anitah satum kalena saratra ghabhiram hasa. This family life, it is available even for the animals also. The birds are also animals. Everything it is available for them also. But human life, it is nayam deho dehabhajam luloke kastan kaman arate bidbhujam ye. Tapodevyam putrakayen sattvam sujjhajasmad brahma saukyam tvanantam. So Rishpadev says to his children. So whoever understands those statements, first of all, they must be hearing those statements from the Bhagavatam or Puranas. They must be having that desire to hear. Adu Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Ata Bhajani Kriya. Until they come to this path, they do not understand. They will simply enter into the family life. There are some other religions, they say that if you do this one, you will have got so many wives after you die in the heaven. So that kind of thing, it is deviating. People are bewildered. Yasmin yada pushkarana bhamaya dhurantaya pushtariyaha sprudabhushaha. So likewise, people are misguided by the age of Kali and Maya. But we are here, Janasya, these people who are not coming to Krishna consciousness. So the devotees are traveling all over the world and preaching Krishna consciousness. That is our duty. Okay, so just waking them. Come on. Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other sharings or questions? Okay, so if there are no further questions or sharings, then we shall conclude our session for tonight. And thank you so much, all the devotees, for kindly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and giving this opportunity for me to speak few words. So, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Excellent class, as usual.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was enlightening. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare